All right, here we go. So, here is your map. We're going to do this real quick. Apparently, I have a really impressive skill of coloring fast. By the end of this year, you will absolutely have that skill with me. When we color, we are not coloring for fun. We're coloring with a purpose. Is everyone clear on that? So, move quickly. You need to keep up with me. This front map is not too bad. The back map is very challenging. So, first we're going to do is label. These are your large regions. On the back, we're going to do our small regions. So, this is the Americas. Okay, that's both North America and South America are considered the Americas. Okay, this is your Atlantic Ocean. Okay, we're going to draw some lines here for Europe. Do the best you can. I'm not looking for perfection. I am looking for speed with a little bit of care of where things are going. Does that make sense? Your lines do not need to be perfect with mine, but they need to show some effort. Okay, so that's Europe. This is Africa. This is Asia. This is a new Elmo for me, so I'm trying to get used to it. And this is Oceania. Okay, this is your Indian Ocean. And this is your Pacific Ocean. Your Pacific Ocean is also way over here. Why is it over here as well? Because it's a circle. Every single year I get a kid who asks me, why is it over there too? Dear Lord. Pacific Ocean. Okay, so you're going to open your crayons or color pencils, whatever you have. It does not matter. I'm going to color my Americas in green. You can color it in purple. It literally doesn't matter. So don't get caught up on what I'm coloring and what color it is because it does not matter. I'm going to color in all of the Americas green. Okay, so don't forget your islands. All of these in the Caribbean are all part of the Americas. Hopefully you see I'm coloring in quickly. I am coloring in everything, but I am not making sure everything is perfect. Everything is completely tied together. That's not the important part. The important part is that when I look at the map, I know that all of this falls under the category of Americas. In a different color, you are going to color in Africa. I've decided pink is what Africa is going to be. And that is what I'm coloring, but I do not care. You do not have to match my colors, and this goes for every map we do. Do not forget Madagascar, please. Okay, so Africa is colored. Do not forget Madagascar. Europe, for me, is going to be red. You can match or not. I don't care. Do not forget England, Ireland, and all of your Mediterranean basin ones, please. Try to avoid the Caspian Sea. And don't forget to go north. All right, so there's your Europe. Okay, my Asia is going to be orange. Okay, we're going to start in Turkey. Technically, Turkey's part of Asia. Don't forget your Arabian Peninsula. Going all the way down into India and all the way north into Russia. I hope you see I'm coloring quickly. Yes, I'm coloring. It's not perfect, but everything is colored. I don't have huge gaps of no color in between my strips. Okay, not perfection, but very clear. I know what's there. Okay, when you get to your islands over here, be careful. These big ones technically go over there. Okay, and Oceania for me is going to be yellow. Oceania is Australia. And all of these islands here. I'm purposely overcoloring the islands so I know that when I see islands over here that they are part of Oceania. I know I overcolored, but I want to make sure when I look at it I know exactly what I'm talking about. What I would like you to do, take blue or a different color and color in your water super quick so it is very clear that this is water. Look at how fast I'm coloring. Okay, it's clear that it's water, but I'm not spending all day coloring because we have more important things to do. Do not forget to color in your Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea. Okay, don't forget your Red Sea. Don't forget your Sea of Japan. Everyone's talking about that Sea of Japan right now. Damn. What a crazy world we live in. All right. With Oceania, so whatever color you use for Oceania, don't forget Hawaii. And don't forget your Marshall Islands way down here. All right. So please look up very quickly from your coloring, okay? On your map quiz that's on Wednesday, you are going to see a map that is colored but is not labeled, okay? So instead of a label, I might have a number 1 right here. Don't write number 1 on yours, but you're going to see a number 1. Number 1, what would be the answer? Africa. The answer would be Africa. If I put a number 2 right here, the answer is? Atlantic Ocean. Does everyone understand how the map quiz is going to work? It's going to be completely colored in for you. Everything will be the same. Like colors will be there. I'm just going to have numbers instead. Everyone clear? Okay, so it's not a trick, it's just accountability. Okay, flip it over. This is where things get a lot harder. Okay, so first and foremost, we are going to label, we're going to start with America because why not be ethnocentric, shall we? Like, let's just do it. So, North America, here we go. We're going to draw a nice little line right here. We're going to write North America. Okay, this is your Caribbean. Okay, and this, we're going to draw a line here. When we color it in a second, it will make a little bit more sense. This is Latin America. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm out of practice. This is Latin America, which includes Mesoamerica and Caribbean. Okay, Mesoamerica is Central America and South America. When we say Mesoamerica, it's everything from North America down. Okay, Caribbean is obviously all the islands we have. So let's color it real quick. So grab whatever color. If you used it on the front, this is a different map, so it does not matter. Okay, so I'm going to color it yellow. Okay, so I'm going to do Latin America first because that one's trickier. So I'm going to color in Mexico, start in Mexico. I'm going to color in my islands, my Caribbean. Okay, and then I'm going to color down into what we would call South America, which is part of Mesoamerica, which is part of Central America and South America. Okay? This is all considered Latin America. There is one big distinction in that we refer to Mexico sometimes completely on its own. When we use the term Latin America, Mexico is always included. When we use the term Mexico, we're only referring to Mexico. So all I'm going to do is make pen marks and just make a little bit of a distinguishing mark. I'm going to write Mexico. If you read the word Mexico, they're just talking about this specific region. If they say Latin America, they can mean Mexico, Central America, and South America, as well as the Caribbean. Does everyone understand what we're talking about when we talk about the region? Yes? Perfect. Okay. Moving over. We're going to start in Africa. Do the best you can. The lines are going to get a little crazy, yes? This is what we're going to be coloring here, in here. Do the best you can. It doesn't need to be perfect, but try. Okay? So, we're going to start in Egypt. Egypt is actually not part of the African region. It's actually part of the Middle East, which is kind of cool. So, we're going to leave that blank. We're going to go into what we'd call North Africa. So, this is North Africa. Okay? Underneath Egypt, we are going to draw some squiggles. And go here. This region is called East Africa. All right. Over here, we're going to draw a nice little squiggle here. This is considered West Africa. Then we're going to just draw a straight line here. This is Central Africa. And then we have South Africa. So, every time we talk about Africa, we're going to be saying West Africa. West Africa does not go and touch the Mediterranean. It doesn't. It's only in this region. We talk a lot about West Africa, so start coloring in each of these sections different colors while you're listening to me. I'm going to start in West Africa. West Africa is really known for its slave trade. These coasts are known as the Slave Coast, and is also later going to be known as the Gold Coast of Africa. So most of your slaves coming to the Americas, whether North or South America, are coming from West Africa. Central America is going to become a major focus of ours in imperialism, and this is going to be because the Belgians are terrible people in the Congo. The Belgian Congo is going to be a terrible, horrible place. We're going to talk about that in some detail and figure out all the atrocities that are happening in there and still continuing to happen because of imperialization. South Africa is probably the most famous part of Africa, yes? Trevor Noah is from South Africa, yes? What?
Is Madagascar part of East Africa?
It is part of East Africa, thank you. So, East Africa is going to be one of the first parts of Africa to really start thriving, and they're going to start with trading in the Indian Ocean Basin. They have some really cool stuff that's going to be happening there. The Kingdom of Axum is going to be in East Africa, and they're going to be the first real big Christian component of Africa, which is pretty cool. They have some really awesome churches and religious monuments and stuff. It's pretty cool. And North Africa is obviously going to become incredibly famous, start being famous with the Greeks, and eventually become incredibly famous under the Romans. And imperialism is always going to ruin it. Okay. The next one is probably going to be the hardest one, but we're going to do it. Here we go. Asia is always a mess. Okay, so do the best you can. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for effort. Here we go. So we're going to start north of Thailand, and we're just going to draw a little loop. That's it. Okay, so from there, we're going to take a line, kind of go in, up, down. Okay. Then we're going to draw a nice little squiggly line from here to the base over here to the, and that's it. So let's label this. This is your Middle East. Okay, this is your South Asia. And this is, which we're going to color here in a second, is going to be your Southeast Asia. Okay. Please watch where I draw this line. It is really important. We spend a lot of time talking about this region. You need to know where this region is and where it is not. Okay. We are going to start above this peninsula. Does anyone know what peninsula this is? Huh? Vietnam. There we go. So, we are going to go up, around, and over. Okay? This is East Asia. What modern-day country is in East Asia? China. China is where we talk and spend most of our time talking about. We're going to just draw a big loop, cap it over here, and this is Central Asia. Okay. We're going to make a quick little key in the middle of our Indian Ocean. I'm just going to draw some squiggles inside that key. That's it. So just some squiggles. And this means regional overlap. Okay? So what that means is, in these areas where I'm going to be drawing these squiggles, there's points of contention. It's not a nice clean break. Does that make sense? So we have points of contention in between Central Asia and East Asia and all the way to the Middle East. What that means is there's a blurring of the lines. It's not as clear in between. So just blur the lines a little bit. So sometimes East Asia is a little bit more into Central Asia. Sometimes Central Asia is a little more into East Asia. Do we understand? Perfect. All right. What you're going to do is you are now going to color these for the different regions. Start with Southeast Asia with me. Now, Southeast Asia is Thailand, is your major country that's going to be in there that you probably know off the top. Now, it is really important. I think we can agree your Asian countries are a little tricky to keep separate. Can we agree? Southeast Asia, South Asia, East Asia, Central Asia. They are the hardest ones to remember, but they are the most important. 3 years ago, there was a there was a CCOT, or a type of essay that the kids were writing, and the prompt was on Southeast Asia. About 80% of all kids who wrote that prompt for the entire world, because people around the world take this class, were writing about South Asia instead of answering the question about Southeast Asia. Everything they wrote was wrong. When they say a specific region, you have to answer it using information from that region. So if you write the most beautiful essay about how South Asia evolved and influenced Indian Ocean basin trade, but it's on Southeast Asia, everything you wrote is wrong and it's a complete waste of time. If you don't know your regions, you will get things flat wrong and nothing you did mattered. Know your regions. So this is all Southeast Asia over here. South Asia, we spend a lot of time. What is the most prominent country in South Asia? India. We spend a lot of time talking about India. So South Asia is a major Indian country. What is the two big religions in India today? Islam, yes. Hinduism and Islam are the two biggest religions in India. India is going to split into a country called Pakistan, which you should have heard about that country before. And that's going to be your Muslim base. If you watch Silicon Valley, does anyone watch Silicon Valley on HBO? No? Okay, never mind. My references are failing today. It's fine. It's fine. Here's your Middle East. Okay? Keep in mind, your Middle East includes Egypt, and that's really weird. Can we agree? It includes Egypt. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Bear that in mind as we go through. All right, Middle East is going to be one of the wealthiest places in the world, second only to what? What is the wealthiest region in the world up until the last 100 years? China. So finish coloring in your map for me, Central Asia. Central Asia, these two regions need to be colored two separate colors, then color everything else just green. Fair? Hello?
What?
Everything that isn't labeled, color it green. So it's going to look like this. Color in North America, and then all of your Northern Europe and all that stuff, everything else goes green. Okay? All right. So if you are borrowing my colored pencils and crayons, please put them back where you found them. I will always have colored pencils and crayons for you to borrow if you do not bring them to class. Everyone needs colored pencils and crayons at home because I don't always finish the maps in class. If you borrow my colored pencils and crayons, please put them back. I hope you notice these are brand new. Yes? So let's keep them nice. Do not break my stuff. I don't break your stuff. So if you borrowed my stuff, please put them back in the front. And I hope you have a great weekend. You need to finish your focus this weekend. Finish it. Full and complete sentences. You have a vocab quiz on Monday. It'll be significantly faster than today's. Have a good day, guys. What's up? Yes, ma'am.
Well, wait.
Okay. I'm trying to think. It was just like writing. I'm just gonna like. I'll bring it. If I don't bring it in like the next 2 days, then like I'll get it. Well, okay, Monday or Tuesday. I will bring it Monday or Tuesday.
No rush.
Always solving problems. Have you gotten a lot of people buying? That's good. That's really good. Is that like what you need?
Yeah, the minimum is 20, but I want to start 50.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna be second.
Well, Garth so funny. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad about myself at that quiz. So mad.
How'd today go?
It was good.
Good. Nice seeing two classes?
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you, Rebecca. I'll
You
see you
too.
on Monday.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.
Thank you too.
Thank you.